Hey everybody, it's Andy again. I wanted to go over something that it comes up often with student candidates. It's a great question, so I figured why shouldn't we address it? So for those that don't ask it, it's covered, and for those that do, you'll have what you want. And that is, Andy, what does it take and what makes up the qualities to be a top producer? And it's a fabulous question and one that deserves its due. First of all, being a self-starter. Obviously, being a self-starter. Don't want you to need a boss to tell you it's time to get up and go to work. Monday through Friday, we go to work. So being a self-starter. We work out of our homes, so if someone has to tell you to go to your home office and do your job, you're probably not going to make it with us. Someone who is a good student, in this case, you do what I tell you to do. I leave no stone unturned. I do everything in my power to make it better. I don't pull any punches, but I do it in a loving, passionate way. This isn't about Andy. This is about you. You have to do what I tell you to do, and I'm going to do it with great enthusiasm because what I like to do is take all of these years of experience and all that we've accomplished, and within 30 days have you up and running and making money. So you got to do what I tell you to do. Next, I want you to be humble. And on one hand, people can say, well, you're the pajama man, humble. What do you mean, all this stuff? And let me tell you something. I am humble, and I'll tell you why. And we are humble. I have top producers all over the country, and I'll tell you why. Because I tell them all the time what I tell myself, the real truth. The real truth is, even though I'm billing millions of dollars, and my students are billing millions of dollars with the carriers, and they love us to death, and they're paying us a fortune in residual commission. At the end of the day, the real truth is we're still a bead of sweat on the rear end of the horse. What do I mean? We're in $1 trillion industry. The way I see it is I'm on a big scaffold. I'm hanging my scaffold from the bigger scaffold and from the big old iceberg, and I say, hey, fellow student, how you doing today? And they say, Andy, I got 3 apps in. I'm having a good day. How are you doing? I say, not as good as you, but hopefully by the end of the day I will. But my point is a little humility goes a long way. We know who we are, we know how we got here, and by the grace of God, we're quite fortunate. So humility is important to really understand how you fit into the big picture, no matter what. Being a good listener. I teach a lot of things, time management, but I also talk about being a good listener. For some of my students, I know they're not, and I teach them how to be. I even tell them, I want you to close your eyes if that's what it takes to be a good listener. They overcome that. I always want to be the best listener I can be. I know I'm doing pretty good when they'll say, Andy, are you still there? So we want to listen to every word that's said to us by a student, by a prospective client, no matter who it is, because ultimately it is all about them. You want to be a good student, that's obvious. You're going to be a good student. You're a problem solver. If you are by nature, it'll become easy to you. If it's something you think you're not, you'll find that you're much better than you thought you were going to be, because ultimately we give you the experience to solve all the problems. You gotta like people. You gotta be comfortable working with people, helping them, because at the end of the day, the vehicle's insurance, but the bigger picture is it's all about the people. And if you can connect with the people, they will throw money at you. Being a goal setter, having the internal drive, you can plod your way to a big annuity and a fortune of residuals. I believe the difference between the tippy-top producer and the next is how bad they want it and how much they want to earn, because ultimately there's no limit. And personally, my background as a kid is retail. So I wake up every day with 0 on my plate. I celebrate my victories. At the end of the day, I feel good about what we've done, but come the next morning, it's Zippo, and we got to do it again. Now it's nice because it's residual again, so we keep on getting paid. And then maybe, and take this the right way, a little old-fashioned greed. I want my students to have a little greed in them, and what that means is that you're going to make a lot of money. Most of our students do extremely well, and the key to the deal is that I want you to want it. And if you want it and you have a little bit of greed mixed in there because you live for the deals the way we do, you get a charge. Listen, You're going to be working with people in the marketplace that don't make a fraction of what you make. But in the end, we serve the public. We know what that feels like, and ultimately greedy for knowledge, greedy for success, greedy for income and growth. That's all that seems to make up my students and all of our middle and top producers. The difference between the middle guy and the top guy is just a little bit of duplication, a little bit of satisfaction, and what they're accustomed to in many cases. So I don't think I've said it all, but hopefully I've shed some light on what that subject's all about, and that is, what are the ingredients of being a top producer. Thank you.